Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Inside from CZT Beth Gaughan. All right. This is a very neat tangle, and it has some similarities to some others. And in looking at the explanation on tangle patterns, and this came out within the last, actually, it might have been the very last one that has come out. It looks like yesterday, maybe. Anyway, so the link in the description section that says for more inspiration from the creator of this tangle, click that. That'll take you to tangle patterns, and and I like what Linda does. It kind of explains a bit and stuff like that, and also sharing the inspiration, which is neat. And yeah, it's just really, really cool. All right, so this one starts off, it's an orb grid, if you will, and let's see, I'm gonna put one in the middle. I think I'm just gonna do, I want to do it large so you can see. Actually, let me make the orbs bigger. In my version of the step out, I made my orbs kind of small. And it's one of those things, it doesn't matter. But I'm just going to we'll just do 5 orbs here. If you're doing it on a bigger scale, or say doing it smaller, what I would recommend, if you have a challenge, I have a challenge when there's like an offset section. So what I would end up doing is leaving a lot of space, doing a dot or an orb grid, but again, leaving space, and then coming back afterwards and putting the ones in between. Just a hint. All right, helpful hint, hopefully. All right, then we're going to do some diagonal lines hollow bowing underneath these orbs. And so this is one of those, it might be easier to start wherever you have a nice clear-cut, longer line. So we're going to go this way. And I'm aiming, for the center of the orb. And also, to make things forgiving, I'm not necessarily thinking one line all the way through. I don't know if that's good or bad, but in my mind, it's like, to make it forgiving, because this one's a little bit off. So if I'm here, center of this side of the orb, and then I come down here, in my mind, that just helps. Okay, then here we're just going to, you could go from this line out. I mean, the center of the orb out like that. Okay. And we'll get them all done on the one side. All right. Then, yeah, we're going to do the other side. Same idea. And, and I like to share things like that, things that are forgiving of tangles. So that way, number one, don't have to get stressed out over it. Don't worry about if your orb grid is not exact. It's okay. And then 2, the way that this ends up, it's not going to matter. It's all good. Okay, then we're going to do lines going straight through. And we're really, yes, only doing this in one direction. So it's not, not going both. So just pick one direction. And again, I'm aiming for the center of the orb and just focusing, center to center. And actually from here, we'll just come straight out. All right. There we go. Now, in this, seeing all of these triangles now, in the center-ish, just put a little dot. Yeah, you can see that. Now this part I did get a bit confused on the step out, but I figured it out. And so on my version, what I did was I split this kind of into 2 boxes. So, and then of course we have the partials, and so I don't know. Well, let's see. It might. Let's see if I imagine this going here. Okay, it'll be right about there. Depending on how yours lays out. This one's going to be real close there as well, but that's going to be about it. Okay. We're going to connect these little dots, and if you just keep them small, so like I was just pressing the pen in, so that way it's not any wider or bigger than the pen width, because we want this to disappear into the pattern. Although, you know what? Yeah, it's honestly, it's not going to matter. You could put an orb, a small orb in there, because, yeah, the next step, I think, will cover it up anyway. So there we go. Never mind what I said. All right, next, like I said, we're going to connect these dots. But, yeah, my brain was going to, I just want to make sure, because there were too many lines on the page and my eyeballs were not following. So, like this. And if you want to think of, pick an orb, and we're going to surround that orb. We're going to go connect the dots around the orb. That might be a good way to think about it. That's why I was pausing, because I hadn't. Sometimes when I'm playing with these, like a mantra or things will pop into my head that are usually helpful, sometimes not. Okay. And because I've done this so big, also just don't worry about what shape it comes out, because it's all fine. So what I did was I went around the one orb with the red, and then moved on the next box, then pretended like, okay, now we're moving on to this orb. So from here, okay, here's these two dots. This one's going to come off here a little bit and to both sides. And then, let's see, there would be one probably about here, and the rest are hidden. So excuse me. Okay, I didn't hit my little mute quick enough, because that came up all of a sudden. All right. And then, we'll just finish off all of these partials. That's what I like to call them. All right. Okay. I think I hit them all. And if I didn't, I will find out in the next step. So from here, this is where, in Beth's step out, she says, like and Zeppel. And as I say, as I was looking, it says like. So what we're going to do is, coming from here, we're going to basically trace around an outline, not necessarily down here. So it's kind of like, although I suppose if you did, you'd be fine. But tracing over just to give that extra thickness and dimension to the lines. It seems like we're not necessarily doing it around the orb. And it almost also, I was trying to determine, it's like, are we doing this like en Zeppel, or just kind of putting, because you could maybe, although, see, I've had people that with en Zeppel, they just put rounding in the corners, and it's a different look when you trace over the lines, as you can see, right? So as I get this one done, and then this one, though, well, en Zeppel, you can fill in the little gaps if you want to. I usually leave them open because it creates such a neat effect. In fact, you know what? Maybe we'll do that. Nah, we'll fill it in, because I like, on this, it is very, very pretty, leaving it all filled in, although we could fill it in afterwards. That might be smart. But you can see the difference between these lines and these, having gone over it again. So that's what we'll do around, and then find your orb. Well, let's do it on an orb, and then these other ones, we'll figure it out. So always find your orb, and that's kind of your center thought, like that. And the idea, if you've not done the Tangle and Zeppel, I do have a video. You just if you click on my picture or my name below the video. And on these ones, I'm just going over the line because that's all that I would do. The curved part is going to be way out here. But we still want that to look, oh, this one, this one, let's see. Yeah, I would go this way. This one. Okay, so if you've not done the Tangle and Zeppel, one of the ways that I like to describe it is if you had a bubble that was fitting into this a space that has corners, how tight would it fit in? So that's what with the rounded corners. Although, as I mentioned, and I've looked at all of Beth's, well, no, wait. No, it might be a little thicker at the end, but it's not rounded like this. I mean, by the orb. So it's a little bit different. But, hold on. Oh, my electric desk decided it should rise up on me. All right, let's get this done. I just had to unplug it. All right. And if you have not done that tangle, oh, you have to, you don't have to, but highly recommend, do take a look at it. And again, you can click on my picture or my name to get to the main channel or the main page of the YouTube channel, and then just do a search. Although I could be very helpful, and I'll put it, yeah, why don't I just do that? I will find it, the link, I will put it in the description section as well. That way you just have it. Okay, now I'll have to figure out what is that there. Let's see. Oh, it's good. Okay, that's going to be part of something else. Okay, we're just going to do that. Okay. And actually, I like that I'm leaving that open so that way you can kind of see what it would look like if you didn't fill it in, and we'll fill them all in later. Oh, and there's another one. Yeah, it's part of, oh, I see, yeah, it's part of, if I pictured that there's an orb here, it's that those corners. I always find it helpful to like I said, if there's a center point like this, figure out when you're doing partials like this, figure it out, and then find, okay, this is this, that way you know how to finish filling it out. So that way, I call it looking convincing. It's like, oh, like as if this was a pattern and you punched it out, of, whatever the pattern was on. I just think it's neat to do that. And, it's a fun game that I like to play in my head. Kind of like doing a puzzle, sort of. All right. All right. As I'm finishing this, if you are enjoying it, this is one as well, and then Zeppel too. Because it's the same thing over and over and over again, this is where you might want to take a little hand break every so often, an eyeball break, so just focus your eyes on something across the room so you don't get all cross-eyed and, blurry-eyed. It just helps. And of course, we should always be breathing while we're tangling. I think it's so funny because if you watch Rick and Maria, founders of Zentangle, or, anyone from Zentangle, and they're doing videos, and say, and breathe. And I'm like, yeah, I do sometimes forget to do that. Or it's like, I don't know why. It seems like, it's like, oh yeah, I should do that. Like I'm like as if I'm holding my breath. Not really, but it's just funny. All right. And then a little one right here, like that. And you might want that look. So we leave that up to you. It's your tangle and you can do what you want with it. I'm going to fill it in because that's what Beth has. And as I'm doing this part, if you have enjoyed this video, or if you are enjoying it, because it's not done yet, please click the like button, or wait till the end and then click the like button. Don't just remember to do it, please. And if you liked it enough to see more, I was like, when I go to a video and they're like, if you like this video, it's like, well, I don't know if I do yet. I haven't finished watching it. This is at the beginning. Come on. So let's see if you earn it. I hope I do. So if I do, please click on the like button at the end. And then if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. And if your pen goes out of control, then just find a way, just taper it in. You know, and you also might, just depending on how yours turns out, you can always redefine the lines that are there if you feel like you want them maybe a little bit thicker or something like that. Yeah, or if your pen goes a little nuts and out of control. All right. And you know, as it's almost half and half, look at how interesting, how it makes it pop, right? It's just so cool. With, you know, filling in the gaps. It's just, I don't know, it's a neat thing. We do that on a number of tangles. And it's just nice to have that extra bit of contrast in there. Now, as you're doing this, because we're filling in, if you, for some reason, needed to adjust something, then you can, you know. Oh, that curve isn't so great. Well, you have the pen. You're just filling in. You can, you know, go over the other part. It's all good. Nobody will tell on you. Don't you tell on you, though. All right. And then we have just another bit of decorating that it's more of a bit of decorating, so it would be optional, of course. All right. And of course, because it's Zentangle, like all of it is optional, right? Okay. So, let me just look again. No, yeah. So here's what Beth has us, just putting a little line. Although, you know what I know, it seemed like in some, and maybe I'm seeing things, but what I just that looks, you know what, let's do that on all of them. Or maybe half and half, let's see. Like I said, it's just a little line coming out. But what I seem to notice on some, again, it could just be me, is it seemed like there was a little bit of thickness, or maybe it's just thick, period. Maybe she used a different pen nib or something. But I'm just going to thicken the base a little bit and re-go over the line. I kind of like it a little bit more than just a line and that's it. And you can see, I don't know, is that looking, it's looking nice. And I suppose if you wanted to do wispy lines, you could. It's your tangle. You know what I'm going to also do? We're going to redefine that line. And maybe, because my orbs get a little sloppy, and so redefining is a good thing. And I usually wait, you know, until it's kind of like an end thing. Because every once in a while, I surprise myself. And I was like, well, I don't, hey, look at how good that looks. No. Yeah, just seems seemingly there's a little bit of shape at the end. I don't know. I'm liking it. Yeah, and then when you play with it too much, like I said, and then things get a little out of control. Now, here's how you could just do it, you know, without coming back. So I'm thinking it's almost like a little bit of a curve line going up, sort of like that. Ooh, you know what? I like that. It looks way better than the others. And then just, you know, if you have a little gap there, fill it in. And that part didn't occur to me till now. Which is good. because at least it occurred at some point. Better than afterwards. Yeah. All right, let's clean that up. You know, there's also no, I mean, if you wanted to fill in those centers, of course you can. It's your tangle. You do with it what you want. Really, really neat. Love it. Okay. I hope that you have loved it too. Oh, let's do some shading really super quick. And sure, there it is. Okay. All I'm going to do on this, I'm just going to go around that orb on the outside. Well, sort of. Gets a little out of control there. And just kind of in a big circle, not following the thing I usually say, which is to put the tip of the pen, or I mean the pencil or the tortillon where you want it the darkest. I'm just trying to be careful. So to stay out of that center. I don't necessarily want any in. There we go. It creates a nice tufted-ish type of look. And you could, if you wanted to, you could probably go all to the edges, but I'm not really sure. I kind of like it like this, just myself. But you play. That's the idea, right? Okay, so I hope that you have enjoyed this. If you have, again, please click on the like button. If you liked enough to see more, please be a subscriber to the channel. The description section, as I mentioned, has links to the step outs. Below that, if you enjoy my goofy style, would love to have you join me online. If you'd like to tangle online with me and a bunch of other crazy tangle addicts, we'd love to have you. We do that on Thursdays, generally on Thursdays. Every once in a while, I have a schedule issue, and so I usually then will move it either to Wednesday or Friday, just depending. And I know that I have that coming up a couple times in the next few weeks. So do check out that description section. There are a couple places where I post classes where you can register and then get notices and reminders and the link to join in. Besides the ones that are listed, there are separate links. If you follow my Facebook page, I post them there. And if you are on Facebook and you'd like to be a part of our community, we come and join us. There are 4 questions that you have to answer in order to gain entry, just so you're aware. And what else? Yeah, but come and join us. I do teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, the Thursdays, Tangle Time is what it's called, and it's free. I do them twice a day, and we have a lot of fun. We might have taken something like this and just see what kind of fun we would have with it. On Tuesdays, except for the third Tuesday, which is the third Tuesday is a free class called Tough Tangle Tuesday. There are other classes that have some sort of a fee. You can find those out on on the places where I post them, and then also on my website. So I think that's it. That's it for today anyway. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.